Mark,
Hey, Paul.
what's going on?
Oh, not too much. Just enjoying my 4th of July weekend.
Exactly. And, absolute Simon Baz, we hardly knew you.
Oh, you think he's gone for good?
Yeah, I think he's gone for good. At least, at least for the foreseeable future. Who knows what twists and turns Al Ewing may take? But we'll talk about it in just a second. Because he saw his face, and he can't see his face because then it's like
It was a whole Dorian Gray situation.
Exactly. Don't forget, before we go any further, don't forget to make sure that you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content, and leave us a comment. Let us know how we are doing. Let us know how you're liking the absolute universe as it continues to expand, as I guess pretty much all universes do, right? That's the whole thing of the universe, right? Is it's constantly expanding. Right?
That's what they say.
Yeah, exactly. So,
What's it expanding into?
I don't know. Probably nothingness, right? I would think, right? I don't know.
But if there's nothing there, how can you expand into it?
I don't know.
Perplexing.
It's very perplexing. it's like what caused the universe? Was it a Big Bang? And it's like every time I start to think about whether or not there's a God, I always go back to okay, what caused the Big Bang? And then people go like, well, this and this, and I'm like, okay, then what caused that? It's like, well, is it well, what caused that?
Eventually, you have to get to outside of time and space.
Exactly. So, yeah. So Thomas Aquinas did a whole bunch of, he did all sorts of proofs.
After we're done recording this, I'm going to share something with you. I'm writing a note to remind myself.
Okay.
It's about the very first book of the Bible and how it answers all of that. The very first sentence of the Bible answers all that.
Right. Okay. Okay. In the beginning,
God created the heavens and the earth. Yep.
Right.
But I'll talk to you after this. It's super interesting. I love this little thing that I learned about that. But yeah. Well, I'll tell you now. It says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So in the beginning insinuates time, that God was there before time. God created time in that instance. Created the heavens, space, and the earth, mass. Time, space, and mass all came into existence simultaneously. According to that first sentence of the Bible, none of those things can exist without the other two. They're dependent on each other. So without time, when did it happen? Without space, where would you put it? Without mass, what did you put there? When did it happen? So all of it, the first sentence of the Bible is completely packed and loaded, answering the question of, well, what created that? When did that? If the Bible is true, in the first sentence, it claims that God is outside of time, space, and matter, right there in the first sentence alone. Hard to wrap your head around it, but that's how the actual old 66 book tome starts, with the answer to that one puzzling question.
Although we won't be talking about a beginning, we will be talking about an end.
Which I would argue that one sentence is better than all 12 issues of that.
Okay. We're going to quickly go through this for a couple of reasons. One, Mark didn't read it.
I'll get to it. That's my bad.
Okay, no, that's fine. I will admit that this one was probably a little bit more easy to understand than the previous 11. We come to learn a few things. We're not going to get into it that deeply because I still really didn't enjoy it too much. But we come to learn that actually this entire time, and what has caused John's breakdown for the most part, is that his son Tyler has actually been dead the entire time. He died when he was young. And so that kind of caused his mental breakdown and everything, which then the Martian Manhunter and Sparrow took, and the problems he had with his wife all took care of, because he actually was, he was guilty about the time that he hadn't spent with his son, and so that caused them to argue and all these different things. And then Martian Manhunter then tries to help him through that, and so we get some of that. We find out who actually is running the agency, which is the group that was trying to capture him. We find out that it is the absolute universe version of Uncle Sam, who is actually
bullshit, right?
Who is actually just a big eagle. So we get
this guy. This guy is some anti-American propaganda BS, dude. Like, Denny's Camp is a real life piece of shit.
We see for the first time in these issues, we see the everything that's going on with the Martian Manhunter is very, very tangentially touching absolute Superman, absolute Batman, absolute Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
Very, very like barely just like dipping the toe in the water. Like they have some thoughts that kind of just may be occurring because of everything that's going on. Um, but then we have John and his wife or ex-wife um, finally realizing that they can actually live together. They actually need each other to help each other through everything that's going on. That's kind of how the issue ends. So um,
The love was inside them the whole time. How
exactly,
fantastic.
exactly.
I was half expecting it to be like something, it starts with him getting injured on the job,
Mhm.
like expecting it to be in his head, like the whole series just to be like he's like barely alive or all flash in the moment of him dying kind of thing. But knowing that the Martian Manhunter continues on into the other stuff that crosses over later, did you see any setup for that?
No, I mean it's literally one panel for each of them, interspersed throughout the. Not even
Does it
like three panels in together, and it does again also kind of set up the Dark Side saga that's going to go on because I believe Dennis Camp is going to write the Absolute Martian Manhunter portions of that the third part of
that's
the
unfortunate.
Dark Side saga. So
Could you see the idea of like the Martian hopping to other hosts?
it, I mean, I guess it could happen, sure. Um,
They don't like set that up or nothing
they
like
don't
that.
really set that up, no, no, no. Again, this was easier to understand, which doesn't take much. Um,
It
um,
doesn't.
but overall, again, I mean, I know it's getting. I've read some things online that think that this ending is like the best thing since sliced bread, and it's like I don't know about that. I really like sliced bread. Um,
Big fan of sliced bread.
exactly. You won't see me putting butter on a Martian Manhunter comic. Um,
Not anytime soon.
exactly. But so let's talk about this. Absolute Green Lantern. We start
Why
not with
would
Mogo this time, but it's like, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, why would they do that to Uncle Sam
Mm,
on 4th of July week too?
hmm
That's crazy. Anyways,
Yeah. So we don't get the in the past we've seen what seems to have been Mogo was coming, but we realize now that Mogo is actually he's here now. He's basically here, and we find out that throughout the issues, and also if we remember at the end of the last issue, Sinestro arrived as well.
yeah, he
Um,
pulled up on him.
yeah, and he has a huge a huge yellow suit that with him like a Martian or a Manhunter mask rather that he wears.
Yeah, but we start this one off a little bit different than every other
Hmm
issue. We do get our 4-panel blacked out page, but we're not getting the little ring this time. We're seeing the shape of a person. And who is this? It's not. Is it Chase? What's the name of this person?
No, not Chase. Um, Agent Double.
No, Agent Double was the one that double crossed him that they worked for. He's like sitting there sleeping,
Oh,
having a vision
right.
of seeing her,
Yep.
seeing
Right.
Chase.
Yep.
He wakes up. So we're checking in with the agency, a different agency, the one that Simon Baz works for and that
hmm
Chase works for, that were helping out Joe Mullen. And they had the dime dropped on them to Hector Hammond by Agent Double. So we're checking in with Agent Double, where Simon and Chase have come back to address him and handle the situation of him double crossing them and costing the life of their other agent who was supernaturally gifted and
hmm
died at the hands of Obsidian a few issues ago. They square off in the parking lot, go back and forth, have a little tussle with Simon Baz, and Agent Double reaches up and he's able to pull his mask off and then yank him down in front of the mirror on the car where Simon unfortunately sees his reflection, and we now have 6 more weeks of winter.
nice. Okay. Puxatawny Baz.
It's a
Uh,
famous
or
drowning movie.
exactly, or he just kind of disappears.
Yeah, he just
Um,
vanishes. Poof, gone.
he just vanishes, and after he does that, he starts having this Agent Double starts having the discussion with Cameron, and basically saying, "Hey, you know what? It wasn't my fault. You know, I didn't know anything about Goldface going there to your apartment and everything." It's like, whoa. And so as he's talking, she says, "Wait a second. How did you know his agent name was Goldface?" And then just kind
Whoops.
of shoots him right in the head.
Whoops.
Like,
And at that point, she just pops up behind him and just no more questions. You're out of here. Looked like you could use a little airing out. So
exactly.
she airs him out. So that's handled. Now Simon Baz is seemingly gone for those that came in late. That's why he wears the mask. He was voodoo hexed or something sometime before the series ever started. If he sees his own reflection, he dies, or I don't
Mhm.
remember if he said dies or what. If he goes into another realm, I don't remember what the curse was.
Mhm.
But if he sees his reflection, he's gone, and now he's gone.
Right, we go back down to Joe Mullen, who's there with Tomore. If you recall, in the last issue, Joe Mullen had this huge
Squaring off.
squaring off with him, in which she basically said, "The difference between you and me is, and Abin Sur is, I don't know any limitations. I haven't been a Green Lantern long enough to know any limitations, so I can do whatever I want." Basically, puts him in a nice little cage, and then we get Mogo making the announcements.
Yeah, he pulls up with his little threats and everything, and Tamara Ray is begging Joe, like, please, you don't understand. Like, I'm not out to hurt anybody. I'm out to save everybody. We have to handle Mogo. You have to do this. And the Star Breakers see that Mogo is about to fire. Well, let's get ahead of ourselves.
Mhm.
And yeah, Tamara's just begging with him. Then we get a little flashback.
Right, we get a flashback to Hal.
Evergreen, the
Right,
crew,
right,
really.
exactly. Yeah,
You got John Stewart, Hal. Is Guy there with him? I don't think Guy was there. You had Obsidian, Todd there with him, and they're kind of Guy's there. They're kind of just talking about why they remained in Evergreen and why did Joe leave but came back. And I guess we could all leave. It was kind of just like a, I don't really know what the point of the whole scene was, but it was just a nice scene of the friends just together kind of thing. It was just how reminiscing, and from reminiscing on this, he realizes in real time, like, he kind of gets a little bit of motivation, for his friends, for his loved ones, and he fires up now that he has the Star Sapphire power that we don't have the details on yet. But he uses that power right as Mogo fires on him, and he just expands a giant construct shield that takes the blunt force of Mogo's shot, saving everyone. And that's where the Starbreakers realize, yo, we're out here working for you. You were about to blast all of us,
mhm.
even us. We've been working our whole life for you, and you're willing to just kill us. And that's when Hal's like, there's bigger things out there than Mogo. And who was that guy? Very regular in the Jeff Johns era. What's that Joker's name? Long head with the forearms.
Salak.
Yeah, he takes this opportunity while Hal's not
Mhm,
looking to just run up and he just stabs him straight through the
mhm.
chest. And then Hal has like this out of body moment kind of thing. It gets real weird, not even gonna lie. Like, it's hard to break this book down with how weird it is. But I guess, is it Joe that reaches out to him, or who reaches out to him here? It looks like He-Man at one point is floating behind him. Who knows what's happening?
Yeah, he calls it carry limbo. A class two psychic. You were there when is that's not
That's the one who died.
right,
Yeah, that's the agent with the supernatural powers who died at
right,
Obsidian's hand. That's right. So yeah, as
right.
soon as he gets stabbed, he goes into like this weird state, like, I guess, outside of time and space, if you will. The second that he stabbed through his chest, I mean, I can show you where he gets got and instantly, like, I mean, straight out the back,
Mhm,
takes one square to the chest, and then boom, Hal's floating in limbo talking to Carrie, who died, with He-Man behind him.
mhm,
Not sure what's up with that. But there she's there warning him something bigger's coming, something's bigger's coming. You gotta help. And then as soon as you turn the page again, Guy Gardner, aka the Warrior, is
mhm.
sitting there using the abilities that we saw him capable of. It's like transmuting
Right,
organic matter.
bringing Hal back from the dead, and
Yeah, using the guy who attacked him,
mm,
his bioorganics over on Hal to keep his heart pumping. Pretty wicked.
right.
Salak.
We get Katma Tui and John Stewart.
She's crashing out.
She's
Everything
crashing
I
out
believed was a
exactly.
lie.
And as soon as they start arguing, who shows up but Sinestro?
Yeah, she was all sad that her precious Mogo would attempt to kill them. And Sinestro rolls up like, quit your whining, you're all about to die.
Right. And then that's when Joe Mullen has this epiphany, seemingly, that says basically, if the entire population of Evergreen is a weapon, well, I can use it too, and I have the ability to be able to create other Green Lanterns. If someone wants to step up and say, you know what, I'll be a Green Lantern, she can give them that, and then they can be, twice as powerful.
So keep in mind, they're all standing on the giant Green Lantern, the obelisk
Right.
that fell in Evergreen. Many of the population of Evergreen vanished inside that obelisk when Avon Sewer was there judging everyone. So she reaches into it, finds all them, and offers that power to anyone who wants it. And one specific person steps forward,
It's right.
and
Really steps
she
forward,
says,
not like this where everybody else stepped back and she was,
yeah, she steps forward and says, "Who is that? Do I know you? Jessica something." Says, "Jessica Cruz. You wouldn't know me. We're all in here together. You said, but nobody was ever there with me. I was always alone. And I like." And that's why I think I'm on Mogo's side. Is that going to be okay? And you get this creepy zombie naked Jessica Cruz powered up by the Green Lantern.
Mhm,
Well, head turns sideways. This whole like you only find them when they're dead vibe going on here.
exactly. So now we got our absolute Jessica Cruz as well, who is apparently in league with Mogo. Uh, mm, just keeps on expanding everything that's going on.
Oh, it's so weird.
Mhm,
Like it's being so weird, man. Like it's got to find a focus. It's got to. It really needs to find a lock in
mhm.
on something and ride it for a minute. But golly, it's wild. I'm super curious every issue to grab it and see what happens next. It's hard to take it all in because it's so conceptually all over the place. And clearly, to me, this seems like one of these things that Al Ewing put a lot of time putting it together all in his head and didn't really share it with anybody before putting it out there. Or if he did, it was probably with someone like Denny's Camp, who's a complete jackass and probably told him it was all perfect. But I don't know. I'm enjoying it, but most of my enjoyment from it comes from my utter curiosity of what could happen next and these page turn moments.
Right, right. As opposed to absolute Martian Manhunter, which is, how is he going to make this unreadable again? Which, by the way, he does actually another kind of neat thing with a standard comic book layout again, and that is they have an ad on page one.
Oh, very cool. Now, if they would have done 28 pages of ads, I might have bought it.
So yeah, so Martian Manhunter is over for now anyway. He'll be back. Obviously, again, got to give it its due, and that it's getting all sorts of, you know, people that are saying how wonderful it is. It's great. I just don't see it. It's not for me.
Do you
So
remember
it's
when
fine.
issue 1 came out and we read it and I said, I think this is going to be the ones that like traditional fans of Cape comics are going to be like, nah. But if you're
Mhm,
like a fan of indie stuff or just
mhm,
pretentious bullshit, you're just going to love it. And that's what it is. Like
mhm,
the more every issue, I've read every issue, I just hadn't read 12 yet. And every
mhm.
issue, all it does is just reaffirm that. And I've talked to numerous people in comment sections and I'll just talk to them like I haven't read it. I'm like, oh, cool. What's it about? Never can you get an answer. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't get it.
Yeah. But like I said, it's over now, so that's probably the best thing I can say about it. Um,
Until it's
next
not.
next week we've got Absolute Batman and Absolute Catwoman number
She's
2 as well.
back.
Exactly. So, and we had Jeff Lemire announced that coming in Absolute Flash. Well, he's not going to be doing JSA anymore, but coming in Absolute
That's fun.
Flash, he expects to see Absolute Firestorm, Absolute Abracadabra, Absolute Hunter Zolomon.
I'm
So,
hoping that we get like an announcement for the Fury of Firestorm switching to ongoing, maybe. If
mhm,
he's dropping JSA, I mean, which we've talked about it on at Weeks In. I don't know how that book's still going. You know what I
right,
mean? 'Cause
right.
I just don't think the readership was there and how it started out and everything. But I hope we like Firestorm. I know anyone who's read Firestorm, we're 3 issues in, and anyone who's
Mhm,
read any issue is like, yo, this is really good.
mhm.
And that's kind of a unanimous thing with Adam. Hopefully it stays that way and we get more of it, or he gets put on another title. All in all, I enjoy his DC writing so far.
Yeah, and the next batch of solicitations will coincide with San Diego Comic Con, so we should be getting
Any
lots of
word on
announcements
Jonah
there.
Hex?
Nothing that I've seen yet. Nope, nope.
That's the one I'm waiting on. This a lot. That and the Demon.
The
We're still
Demon,
waiting
yeah,
on both of those. Yeah.
yeah. Supposedly James Herron on the Demon.
Mm.
Um, there's a rumor that it may be Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez from Martian Manhunter may be on Shadow of the Bat.
Oh yeah, heard that rumor, which is great news because that means that's just another Bat title I won't give a shit about. Just pass.
Jonah Hex, though, who knows? I mean, those are the three that I think they've announced as titles, but haven't
Yeah,
announced when they're actually coming out. So,
yeah. To be completely honest, I wasn't probably going to pull Shadow of the Bat anyways. Might
right,
read issue one, but man, there's so many Bat titles that come and go. I'm really, really good at sticking with just Batman and Detective Comics, and then depending on what Black Label or miniseries might dabble. But there's so many
right,
good books out there. You have to pick and choose.
right. Because as much as all these other titles occur, if anything is earth shattering is going to happen, it's going to happen in Detective or Batman.
Hmm.
So, um,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
good stuff.
yep. But that's going to be it. Don't forget again to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell, and leave us a comment. Let us know how we are doing. But we will be back next week. Um, Mark will be in parts unknown.
I'll be at the
Um,
island, the good
at the
one.
end, the good one, exactly. But we will see you again next weekend for Absolute Batman, Absolute Catwoman. But until then, I am Paul. He is Mark. See, I'm using on the other side by then.
But we are Legion.
Exactly. And you're now leaving Sector 2850.